Okay, what's the story on this stock, or what is the idea? What are we supposed to be looking at? Right. Yes, it's supposed to be a growth story in this smaller new segment. Thing is, they're going to be losing money in that segment for a few years. Bob Iger has made that indication a bunch of times. He did a good job of explaining it to Wall Street so that even though their profits are down, they're like, their stock goes up, right? That's how that story works. So yes, they've got a growth story there. But I think the way to think about whether it's Disney Plus or HBO Max, you know, they call it direct-to-consumer, but that's a bit of a misnomer, right? Because they're relying on Verizon to jumpstart a bunch of these with the freebies, right? They worked out a deal with Amazon where now Disney Plus you can get through the Fire Stick, which just connects. They're going to work out a deal with all the other cable guys, really, to help them sell.
But it's not a true bundle. I mean, it's not a true bundling program. It's an add-on program, which, by the way, has been very helpful for CBS All Access, for example. I think was plugged into that Amazon service, and so many of these others.
And, you know, with Comcast, they cut a deal with Netflix years ago. That was huge for both companies, right? So, but what I mean is that these guys, the streamers are going to rely.
Well, we don't know
They're at the mercy of the platform still, is what you're saying. And that can be a point of pain down the road.
And more point of negotiation.
Versus a Comcast, which is not going to be reliant on.
They're not going to be reliant on it because people are going to lose their broadband connections, right? Yeah. If anything, you know, if you as a consumer have issues with your streaming service, you're going to call up whether it's Netflix or Disney or AT&T now, as opposed to Comcast or Charter or like Dish. Right. So that I think is the bigger.
So what we don't know is what these deals are going to cost Disney. Do we?
Right.
Do we know?
Oh, you mean in terms of, like, say, the Verizon freebie or like the so?
Yeah, these effectively, I don't know if you call them carriage deals anymore, or even the bundle deals, meaning like what if you subscribe to Disney Plus through Amazon, right? What are they taking?
Yeah.
If you subscribe to Disney Plus through Apple, what's the VIG?
So the VIG used to be maybe even 2 or 3 years ago, like in the case of, say, Netflix, it was like a buck a sub every month.
And by the way,
Comcast or whoever.
Netflix, on the Apple side, got out of doing business. You know, you can no longer use Apple Pay to get on board. You have to actually go around the service. Go online.
They will punch you to, say, the website on the phone.
They don't even send you there, but you have to actually go there manually. I mean, they created a real hurdle.
Well, because then they don't want to pay the 15% tax.
They don't want to pay the 15% Apple tax.
Apple tax. So, you know, that's another part of this new ecosystem, right? This new sort of industrial complex around streaming. There was an older one around traditional television, but there's just a new one around streaming. So I think there's going to be pain points, and there's going to be the VIG will go up, right? Even that Verizon deal where it's free. I mean, Verizon is actually paying Disney a wholesale rate, somewhere around $2 or $3 a sub.